What is my plan for XCN in 2025? It's actually very simple, and even though I'm not telling you to do anything, and even though nothing I say is financial advice, my plan is just doing what I've been doing this entire time anyways, and that is dollar cost averaging, holding and just waiting, because I feel like fundamentally, Onyx is just getting started, because in my previous video, I talked about the launch of the Goliath testnet, and Goliath, by the way, is this layer 1 blockchain supposedly for the world of finance. So I think that is pretty cool. And again, this is just a test net. I think it's just the beginning, right? Because we haven't seen the mainnet yet. It's still pending, right? Supposedly. It's supposed to happen maybe in Q1 of 2026. But what I like about, when it comes to Onyx is that they actually kept their promise when it comes to launching the testnet of Goliath because, it was kind of like this notion that, hey, it's going to maybe happen before the end of this year, and it didn't hypothetically happen before the end of this year. So I do like that. But ultimately, even despite the pullback when it comes to XCN, the reason why I'm still dollar cost averaging, holding, and just waiting is because when XCN first had that really amazing rally not too long ago, or should I say the most recent one, right? When it comes to that, I felt like fundamentally it wasn't really doing the best. I mean, did the Goliath testnet launch back then? No, right? And also, I see what Onyx is doing with the wallet. And even though I get it, a lot of projects out there have wallets. But still, when it comes to Onyx, I like the progression nonetheless in terms of what it's doing. So if let's say a project that I am a fan of, even before, at a time where the price didn't look good whatsoever, had a pretty good rally, had a pullback, and then at the same time, the project actually improved fundamentally, why would I give up on that? Now, I'm not telling you to do anything, but this is just my perspective. This is why I'm still sticking with what I've been doing this entire time, and that's just dollar cost averaging, holding, and just waiting. Because historically speaking, altcoins typically, as a worst case scenario, from what I've observed, they usually peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. And then the thing is this, 18 months from the last Bitcoin halving event, which happened in April 2024, that would actually mean October this year. Now, will it mean that it's going to hypothetically, start in October? I mean, who knows? Only time will tell. But even if it waits until longer, like let's say until March, maybe even of next year, right? Or maybe let's say it waits until December of this year, who knows? My strategy is going to still stay the same. Dollar cost averaging, holding, and just waiting. The price going down and then not really doing the best, it doesn't affect me because I take a look at the fundamentals. When I take a look at XCN, I see the price going down. It doesn't indicate to me that it is a project that became worse fundamentally. Now, I've seen that in some cases where, again, the project did become worse fundamentally, but in this one, I just don't see it because if, let's say, Goliath, which even like quite a while back ago was really kind of anticipated, right? If a lot of people thought it was good at that time, why would I suddenly think it's not good just because the testnet happened during a time where the price wasn't doing the best? You know what I mean? The way you take a look at it is that if a project actually went lower in price and became better fundamentally, why would I give up? The way I view it is this, the price of XCN going down was not tied to, I think, necessarily to the fundamentals, because why would that be the case? But even besides that, it's more so tied to selling pressure, again, people selling, and also on top of that, just altcoins not necessarily doing the best. However, also on top of that as well, XCN had that pretty good rally, and then at that time, it wasn't like there was even an altcoin season. So this is why the idea of 25 cents, it's still on my mind. Like for instance, 25 cents is around a 22x from here. I get it. In my last video, it was around a 23x. So it kind of did a little bit along with a bunch of other altcoins. We're kind of starting to see a very small recovery, the way you take a look at it. But in the grand scheme of things, there's still ways to go. But even besides that, at a $9 billion market cap, considering current circulating supply at that point, it just doesn't seem like something too ridiculous to me. However, the way you take a look at it is this as well. Like personally, I am excited when it comes to Stellar, or should I say XLM. But the thing is, XLM currently, market cap is like, around 12 billion? When it comes to XCN, market cap is just in the hundreds of millions, right? So it's basically, the way you take a look at it, kind of like a smaller version of Stellar. But then again, naturally, because it is smaller, the market cap is just way lower. And don't get me wrong, I still believe in XLM, but then just seeing kind of something that is a little bit similar to that, but then with a way lower market cap, I just don't see why I wouldn't believe in it, even though I'm not telling you to do anything, but it's just personally my perspective when it comes to this. And I think that when it comes to Goliath, yeah, sure, it kind of shares maybe some similarities to the Stellar blockchain, but then of course I never have thought that, it's going to overtake it. No, I don't think it's ever going to be the case, actually. I think the Stellar blockchain is always going to be more popular than Goliath. But then it doesn't mean that, Goliath is necessarily kind of not having a future whatsoever, because even though only time will tell, again, it's just a test net after all. I'll have to even wait until the mainnet, and even then I'll still have to wait like quite a while to really know what it could really do. But still, when I take a look at, let's say, the world of layer 1 blockchains, just for, let's say, in the case of like Ethereum, right? Is it only just Ethereum, or is there also Solana? Or is, let's say, BNB also popular? Or is there, let's say, Avalanche, Algorand, Cardano? Again, there's other alternatives. It's not like it's just only one thing and then the rest don't really do anything. So within this space, yes, I think that the Stellar blockchain is always going to be more popular than Goliath. But then I don't think it's only just going to be Stellar, right? For instance, this is the way to take a look at it. It's like, for instance, in the world of cars, is there only one car brand? No, I mean, yeah, sure, there's Toyota, but there's also Nissan, for instance. There's also Honda. I mean, again, there's a bunch of car brands, right? So the way I view it is that it's kind of no different here, in my perspective. So yes, Goliath, sometimes it's kind of 50-50. Sometimes my friends don't like it. Some other friends that I know, they do like it. But personally for me, I do like it considering what Onyx has been through. Again, it's not the biggest project out there. It's not the most popular project out there. But I still like its presence nonetheless. And I'm still a fan. I just don't think Onyx has that much competition anyways. Because, yeah, sure, there's XLM, right? We take a look at Ripple, or should I say, sometimes people like to say, oh, take a look at XRP and all this. But, like, XCN, I don't think is directly even competing with that because it's never going to overtake it. Let's take a look at more so of its closer competitors. Like in the case of XDC, Zebic, or should I say ZBCN, XPR, and Swiftcoin. That's like not that many. That's like 4, hypothetically, or should I say arguably, other than XCN, which I think are pretty popular and kind of in that same niche that is focused on, payments, global trade and finance, but then minusing XRP and XLM from the equation, that's actually, again, not that many. If I'm talking about like, NFTs or blockchain gaming, it's kind of like easy, right, to name like 10, 20 projects, for instance. But then in this case, it's not like that easy, right? I mean, it's just like, again, arguably 4 other than this. This is the way to take a look at it in terms of the, popular ones, right? The way I would take a look at it. But even despite all that, I'm just going to still stay patient, dollar cost average, hold, and I just wait. And that's pretty much it. That's what I'm going to do for the rest of 2025. And even if, the altcoin season maybe hypothetically wants to wait to start until maybe next year, who knows, right? I'll just be waiting anyways. Now, ultimately, though, even if I put up a price chart, drew a random triangle, right, or, draw a falling wedge pattern, the market's not going to care about that. So ultimately, I'm just going to stay patient, just focus on the fundamentals, and that's pretty much about it. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's Mali the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.